GFN Soccer TV, with all your favourite shows in one place, is now live in the UK with Samsung TV Plus.
Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to DR Sports for the 7:30 Saturday football.
Hey, come on! Like we haven't done this before.
I tell you what, boys, some show this is going to be. We've got some big headlines for you today, including Ange going back to North London, this time to Arsenal, and losing quite heavily.
Yes.
Bournemouth win. Crystal Palace, Sunderland, Everton and Villa get in the bin. Where's your originality? 2-0 in both.
Ugh.
It would have been a 0-0 as well for this fella, but for a very entertaining own goal. Newcastle get their first win of the season against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and Spurs have just bashed up West Ham away. Who is joining me on today's show? Well then, Nick, the Manchester United fan, he's back on.
Yes. Come on.
Consistent now on the Saturday show. I've been here for every
That's what
single
I'm saying, man.
Yeah, well
Listen,
done, man.
fantastic work
Well
from
done.
you.
Well done.
We notice these things, trust me.
Appreciate it.
But welcoming back a Saturday football show veteran. Is that fair to say?
Veteran, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
One of my very good mates, Fulham fan, Jack Collins.
Hey.
Thanks for having me, pal. It's good to be back.
It's great to be back, isn't
Good
it?
to
And
be
we've got live reactions for you in this show. People are saying, "Oh, the 3 o'clocks, they're my favourite." We've got a live game for you tonight that we'll be keeping one eye on. We'll have a look, of course. We'll have a look. We'll have a look at this fella, right? Buzzing after
He's
today's
good,
3-0
he's good.
convincing victory at home to Nottingham Forest and Ange. It's Big Kwam.
Yes. Zubamendi special. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for having me again. Thank you for having me again, gents.
Oh, it's good to
Pleasure,
see you.
pleasure.
Had a good day in the
It's good to
office.
see you.
Yeah,
Smiling.
mate. It's been all right, man. We've got over the old Anfield fright, and
I'll still mention it.
we just
As long as it's
brush it under the
easy,
carpet and we move on.
Absolutely.
3 points, mate.
Smash that like button, people. We are entertaining you for the next hour plus with all the headlines, the goals, the reactions to today's Premier League fixtures.
Yep.
We also like to throw a little eye over the Championship and League One as well, because that's what the Saturday Football Show was at one point.
Yes.
I mean, even in the National Conference League today, the Glovers got a win in the last minute against Woking.
No
Big
way.
up Yeovil.
Oh,
Do you know what I
yes.
mean? New manager comes in,
Yeah.
the big bounce, the big
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the big
The
game
big one.
that I was thinking of today.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you already know, people, get involved in the chat. Let us know if your team won today, Saturday, whether it's a Sunday League team, a semi-pro team, a Prem team, Championship, wherever it is in the world. Let us know if your team won today. We've got a W in the chat there from Rami.
Yes, Rami.
Spurs are back, says Jude in the chat. Spurs are winning the league, says Alex McBallix.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty
Very good.
self-explanatory.
Very good.
Say it, Quams. Spurs are back, says TB.
Never,
you can't say
ever
it.
gonna say
hold on.
it. Was you saying that after you lot got spanked by Bournemouth?
Oh, you doing the Isaac?
Ah, mate.
But wait. More importantly, though, Spurs being back. What does that
From
even
what?
mean? Yeah,
Back
do you know
from
I
what?
mean?
Exactly.
What does that look like?
Back from what?
But listen, it
They
is a
even
good start,
started.
isn't it, for Thomas Frank at Tottenham. We'll get into their hammering of the hammers later on in the show. Also, Brentford, Chelsea kick-off in 23 minutes from now. We've got the teams for you, actually, on the screen. Kelleher, my brother, in goal. Pinnock, Vandenberg, Nathan Collins, a good
Nathan
man.
Collins.
Lewis Potter, let's have a look. Coyote, Jensen, Jordan Henderson, Premier League and Champions League
Come
winning
on,
captain.
Quality.
Yeah,
Oh, it's gone.
Shout
You
out.
saw it. I can't see around the camera.
I got you.
I think we've got it back there. Yeah. Strongest team Brentford could put out? Is it?
It's the only team they could put out, isn't it?
Well,
Really?
No, I don't think
No, what's
Brentford's
hard-
strongest team has Jordan Henderson in it. I'll be honest. And
Yeah.
also, like, they've gone back 5.
Yeah.
First time I've really seen that under Keith Andrews. Nathan Collins had an absolute stinker for the Republic in
In the
Armenia.
international break, innit?
Very tough. Very tough.
Keller played well though.
Well, yeah, Keller was brilliant. Yeah, that's how the Republic.
That's great, mate, yeah.
Conceded 2, should have maybe conceded 2 more. It wasn't great, but anyway, Nathan Collins probably in better company right now.
Yeah, on the bench, Aaron Hickey, Rico Henry, Reece Nelson.
Yeah.
Number 11
Come
there
on.
for Brentford. Vida Marson, Fabio Carvalho, our guy.
Good player.
Still on the
Very
bench
good
there
player.
for Brentford. Onyeka, Utara, the big summer signing, Aya, and Janelt on for Chelsea though. Sanchez in goal, Fofana at right back tonight. Chalobah, Tosin, Hato at left back. The
Great defender, yeah.
brilliant defender that's coming from Ajax in the summer. Enzo and Caicedo. Buonanotte in the 10 today, chaps. How do we feel about that? No one said he'd get a game, did they?
I didn't think he would.
Starting today in a London West/Southwest derby.
Yeah, I think they feel sorry for him after, you know, they said no because
Champions League.
the Champions League, innit? He wasn't included in the squad, so Maresca said, you know what, Show me something. So no, it's good. It's good for him. This is his opportunity to shine, really.
Absolutely.
I mean, he showed spells at Brighton as well. There's a talent in there.
He's good.
Player. Do you remember his goal against Man City?
Yeah,
Wicked goal.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Technically gifted, yeah. Neto Gittins gets to start today, Jack. And Pedro up top. Cucurella, Cole Palmer returns to the Chelsea squad today. He's on the bench. Philip Jorgensen, Santos, Reece James, Malo Gusto, Tyreek George, who was supposed to join you last minute, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. I think that Marco Silva decided he wanted to keep Harry Wilson instead. Now, whether you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, it's probably indifferent. Marco Silva likes older players, like generally, in his squad, so he likes a bit of experience.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it all fell through. I wouldn't be surprised if Fulham re-looked at that one in January.
I wouldn't be either. Josh Achampong and Alejandro Garnacho por la banquilla on the bench tonight. Nick, how do you react to that as a Manchester United fan?
It's a weird one. When the news first came out about Garnacho leaving, I wasn't really having it. Then everything kind of unfolded the way it did, and Garnacho started acting the way he did. Then I didn't mind. I was like, let's just get a good deal. 40 million, 45 million, it's okay. Could have done with more. But I was saying to you before the show, I could see him making that left wing spot kind of his own. The competition there is okay, but it's not. I mean, Gittins, you don't really know what you're getting from some good spells at Dortmund in the Bundesliga. But yeah, I could see him making that left wing spot his own. He's got a goldfish memory, Garnacho, and I mean that in a good way. He'll make a mistake and he'll go again. His confidence never
As long
knocks.
as they go again, no one can criticise them. If you keep going, that's the minimum the fans expect from you. It's like Dirk Kuyt. He'd make 10 errors in a game, but he would run until his socks came off. So
and numbers-wise, he's put up some good numbers for an under-21s player. Not bad.
He's very good, guy.
So we'll see.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, we'll have an eye on that game at 8 o'clock. We're finishing. We'll probably get a good half an hour of it here live on the Saturday Football Show. Let's start off then with the big headline of the day. Arsenal back to winning ways. Resounding win at home against Nottingham Forest. I watched most of it. Zubamende with a brace, unbelievable first goal. Did take a slight deflection.
No, not really. Not really.
But, no one's saving that either.
But fantastic header. Victor Gyökeres gets a goal as well. Great assist from Eberechi Eze. Trossard gets an assist as well. Just a very good day at the office, really.
Yeah, professional performance from the lads based on after a loss from Anfield, international break. Arteta rotated the squad, so obviously we didn't have Saliba in because he's still coming back from injury. Mascara came in. What a centre back he is! He's very, very good, and that's not just me saying as an Arsenal player. He's slotted in. He slotted in from the Anfield game, in my opinion.
You could tell he was good from. He's playing with Howson at under 19.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
And when you come into a settled back line, it always helps.
No, of course, when you've got experience like Timber, you got Timber next to you.
But if you're just a little bit under par to the rest of them, you stand out like a sore thumb. But he has just slotted.
But he's been a leader for a while now, because obviously that Valencia centre back slot, he was there with Yama.
He played many games for them.
Yasirensky. I've just completely forgotten that one, but Yasirovsky. He was excellent. Two young players together, and they stood out. And that was such a young Valencia side. Right? Like from back when Ruben Brau was in charge of them, they really came through that young generation. I thought he was excellent there. And suddenly you walk in and you're like, okay, cool, you've got better players around you. You make that step up. I think he's smart. And also, like, stylistically and from a profile fit, it made loads of sense. You're like, what does he like to do? He likes to step out. He's very much a kind of player in the Saliba mould. And look, he's nowhere near that level yet, but
he could be.
I think that there is definitely in terms of what we're seeing from him at youth level and in those first couple of years at Valencia, stepping into that role and potentially learning and growing into it.
Yeah,
I think he's a real talent.
And what better, well said. And what better partner to play alongside Gabriel Magalhaes? I think he's been outstanding. He's been like my favourite centre back. Obviously, I love Saliba, but Gabriel's stood out, and it's not just the leadership qualities. It's him obviously pushing the ball forward into that midfield, obviously starting our attacks, which is fantastic to see. So yeah, all round it was a good performance. Eze got his first assist, so that was good. He was knocking on the door a few times. Kind of lost the ball. He was driving in that midfield in that little 10 area, but then he wasn't really interlinking that much with Gyökeres. But no, it was good. Gyökeres got his goal. It's not bad for a guy who apparently wears Timberlands, isn't it? That's what they said. Yeah, wears Timberland and jeans and whatever. So look, you just silence the haters. And again, Arteta, I listened to him, and I'm a big fan of Arteta. I was upset with him from the last game, but I do believe in him, and that's why he said everyone was laughing at him when he brought in David Raya for Ramsdale. A lot of the players that he's brought in, everyone's questioned. Madueke, again, he's answering the critics. He had a fantastic international break. Probably one of England's best standout
I think
players.
Arsenal won the international break, really.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, Odegaard with assists, Declan Rice. Injury as well. Yeah, that's the only thing. That's the only thing is that Odegaard's
Blatch on the record.
Yeah.
Blotch.
And obviously the biggest question now everyone's saying is, does Madueke start ahead of Saka when Saka comes back? Look, it's a good problem for Arteta to have. And we've got so many games coming up. We've got Champions League next week. You're going to need to rotate even your best players. But it's all about competition. If you want to win titles, you have to rotate your squad. And that's where Liverpool were always successful, Man City, etc. So all in all, I was happy. Really, really happy. Just apologies. I need all the apologies for all the people that spoke badly about Madueke not taking on, man. Yeah, you remember that?
I didn't say that. You know what? It now starts to.
Does it make sense now?
You know what it is? Saka and maybe the medical department there knows something that we don't in terms of Saka, because the hamstring injury can be a very reoccurring injury.
Yeah, of course.
And maybe they did look at Bukayo Saka and think, you know what, he could need a lot more rest, because you guys at some point were playing Saka week in, week out, 90 minutes every single week. So
that's what we did to Owen with his hamstring.
What, after he came back from it or beforehand?
Well, he played like 150 games by the time he was 18.
It's crazy.
His Leeds away, 99. Just
crazy.
Totally tore it and had to almost.
I remember that. He was running in behind, wasn't he? Yeah.
Always used to. Yeah.
In terms of the Arsenal goal, the Eze to Gyökeres goal.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting because that's a goal that Arsenal haven't scored in a while, right? Like they're getting in behind.
City goal.
But that's like what you bring in a Gyökeres to do, right?
Yeah.
That's the run you want him to make. That's
100%.
the players over the top bit that you're supposed to be doing, and that I think is probably a good sign, and maybe the best sign from the game. Like, this is a Nottingham Forest, obviously in a bit of turmoil given the fact that they switched managers in the week. They probably were a little bit stuck between stations in terms of styles. I thought it was interesting that they weren't. It wasn't gung-ho, it wasn't really highline. The moment that they stepped up, Arsenal scored that goal. I think that's probably the best thing I could see if you were an Arsenal fan. And be like, wow, we take that. And we're like, we want to score that goal more often.
Great point again. From that, I think the Zubimendi goal, from scoring outside the box, when's the last time we scored from outside the box? Or even hit a shot on target?
It's refreshing to see.
It is refreshing to see. Great volley. That's a Thiago. That's a Thiago-like finish. That is.
He went for another one not long after.
And he was very, very good.
It was more of a dipping one, the second one. The fact that he took it on again, fair play.
So, no, it was good. But, going back to what you're saying, Gyökeres against Leeds, where he scored, he peeled off out wide and he came in and had a shot. I haven't seen that since an Alexis Sanchez. Do you know what I mean? So,
in the big game, Anfield and Old Trafford.
It's okay.
Does it feed into the argument, though, that he scores against, Forest had
smaller teams or lesser teams?
Well,
don't Arsenal need that?
Those are the games that we would those are the games that we would struggle against.
Because your Big Six record is good.
No, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Obviously, you lot kind of ruined it, but it's cool. It was close. That game was very close. To people that actually study the game, they know how tight that game was against Liverpool. But look, it's still a long season, still early, but the one thing we want is to get him sharp. The thing with Gyökeres is game by game, you're starting to see him a yard quicker. He's understanding the system now in terms of pressing from front. The other players are understanding his movement patterns and that. So, for me, I was happy with it. And then even make an impact coming off the bench, Trossard didn't seem happy. He never does seem happy, but he managed, I think his first touch, he whipped that lovely ball in or caressed it in, and Zubimendi was there again. So
great header.
A header from a midfielder as well was fantastic. So, no, it's good. It's good. Going into the Champions League next week, it'll be fantastic. The heads will be high, but we still got a lot to play for us, and we just got to take it a game by at a time.
I'm looking at the positives of today. Obviously, clean sheet.
Yep.
Excellent. That wins you titles. Maybe not you specifically, but no, honestly, get back to it. The defence is very solid. Obviously, clean Zubimendi, sheet, 2 goals, probably one of the best days of his career. Obviously, Eze gets an assist, Gyökeres gets a goal, Madueke plays really well. The only negative probably is the Odegaard injury. We'll see what happens with that. But I'm looking at the bench as well and the starting 11. And in terms of depth, we look at Kepa. I mean, look, Max Dowman, he's 15, but we're already having him in these depth conversations. That's a big compliment. Hincapié, Lewis Skelly, Martinelli, Nwaneri, who had to come on early. Rice, Trossard. I mean, Rice on the bench today. Trossard and White. Do Arsenal have maybe not the best squad, but do they have the best depth in their squad in the league? Do you understand the differences?
I think it's maybe not in all departments, but I think it's a pretty fair argument. I mean, definitely the back line. You've definitely got the best depth by far. By far.
Yeah.
Midfield, Liverpool probably put up a fight. They've got a few in there as well.
Do you reckon? But I feel like Liverpool's the midfield is the one place, and I know there was a lot of discussion about centre backs, and I actually do get that. But I do wonder if Gravenberch goes out, like who steps into that role?
You know who steps in?
No, but like, are you going to trust Wataru Endo the whole time?
My hero.
No, I love Endo. I love Wataru
Endo.
But like,
come on.
is that the same?
Guy,
like, that's I think the one place I
do
disagree.
hear you,
like, I think that, especially considering it looks like. Yeah, look, that
back.
I think could be interesting, right? Like if or Tyler Morton, right? Like
he's balling out in Lyon right now.
But I wonder if he's that's a recall in January job, right? Like as in that's what I think he could be interested in, and where Liverpool might fall down, because if you do have fullbacks, and I know that Szoboszlai has kind of come in and changed maybe the picture in terms of coming in at right back, but if you have Kirkes flying forward on the left every time, if you are going to try and play all four of the big guns in the front four, then you're asking a lot. You're asking a lot of Gravenberch and McAllister and Alexis in the middle. If Szoboszlai steps in there, okay, maybe. Yeah. But in terms of if one of those goes down injured, I do wonder what that Liverpool, because look, we saw it first two games, right? The goals conceded in transition.
Yep.
And you're like, how does that
Gravenberch wasn't playing, basically.
No, I agree.
And that proves your point.
And I think Alexis stepping back in makes a difference as well in the Arsenal game, because then it calms it down and it doesn't feel as frantic. But I do wonder if one of those is not availed, does it look a little bit more frantic? Whereas Arsenal, I think if you lose, we saw it today, right? Declan Rice not playing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We didn't seem to miss him.
Even a Norgard stepping in for a Zubimendi, I think is a pretty sensible solution. Yeah. Like on a relatively low fee.
No, 100%.
To step into those areas. I think Arsenal probably have it covered in midfield. I think up front, Liverpool stream away.
Yeah, of course.
Hands down.
But I think everywhere else, maybe it's question.
I also think that's where Florian Wirtz has created. Obviously, look, he's got bundles of talent. And he's going to hopefully, well, not hopefully for me, but hopefully for Liverpool score and get lots of assists. But in terms of the balance in that midfield, where you would normally have a 6 and 2 8s, you've got an out and out 10 now. So coverage there is going to be a lot less than it was. If you played a Szoboszlai there, he'd drop back and do a better job than the Florian Wirtz can do. So that's one thing. And Florian Wirtz so far hasn't been putting up the creative outlet that you might want him to.
Off ball, he's been brilliant. But
I think it goes back to what you're saying in terms of learning now, because we played with three. I want to almost say 3/8 last year, because Gravenberch gets the ball as a 6 and takes it to the 10 position and then gives it to Mo Salah.
And if McAllister needs to cover, he'll cover.
When Klopp, when Maka came in, he was the number 6 under Klopp, got a load of yellow cards, but Gravenberch is definitely that man now. So we had this kind of like energetic, dynamic, expansive triangle, and now we're learning with 3/8 to go from that into 2 6s and a 10.
And by Jedic,
it will take a month, 2 months. It will.
And by Jedic, you see him as a 6. I mean,
Bajcetic is a 6. I'm a massive fan of his. But
so
listen,
you're saying
Arsenal,
yes, basically you're saying Arsenal,
they have the best squad depth in the league.
It's obviously if you look at Man
if
City
Liverpool
as
got Gahey, would that have changed at all?
Nah.
No?
It's not enough, maybe.
Still not enough. No.
I mean, Mark Gahey,
Calafiori,
he's a quality player, but
listen to
makes a big difference.
Timber.
No, listen, in terms of defence, let's go for it. Goalkeepers.
It's Liverpool keepers.
Yeah, it's Liverpool for keepers.
Mamardishvili?
Mamardishvili. Defenders, Arsenal. Even though Liverpool's are Virgil van Dijk,
even with Gahey in there, it's still Arsenal.
Okay, I'll give it to Arsenal because I mean you've got 4 there who've probably never played a game together before. They keep a clean sheet, and then look at who you've got on the bench: Nketiah and Ben White and all these guys.
Bringing in Nketiah as a final depth, on the final day, just been like, cool, maybe we'll just fill one more gap. It's nuts behaviour.
It's crazy.
Arteta signing.
It's big. It's big.
Midfield, Arsenal.
Yeah, I think so.
But attack, Liverpool.
Yeah. That's what we say.
And champions.
I wonder what the people think as well.
Liverpool as well.
Very plausible. If everyone stays fit,
doesn't even matter, does it?
He's always doing.
Well, come back to the Saturday football show. Get them likes in, people.
Take your cap off, mate.
Come on, mate. Come on. No, but listen, I'm saying that Arsenal do have the best squad depth in the league. But in terms of the 11, I do think it's still Liverpool on like man for man.
Man for man.
Yeah, man for man. Obviously, we had our test and we lost at Anfield, so it's still a lot to do. Arteta learn from that, but I think it's also for the players. They have to step up And yeah, competition. Like I said, competition is high now. So the likes of Martinelli and that can kind of be phased out of the game. And
He needs to be.
Yeah, it needs to be 100%. 100%. So yeah, no, it's good.
So let us know in the chat. Do you think that Arsenal have the best squad depth in the league?
Yeah.
On the other side of the coin today, Ange's first game as Nottingham Forest manager. Do we double down on him already after
It's
one game?
hard.
Because I watched his post-match interview. He said, "Look, this isn't a project. I've come to win a trophy. If I don't start well,
Does that,
I'm
innit?
probably going to get sacked." And the journalist said to him, "Oh, you look well. You know, you've got a nice tan." He's like, "I'd rather be pale and unwell, mate, because that means I'm in a job." I was like, fair enough.
They just love him back for the media.
I
innit?
sense a
Yeah.
skit coming on Monday
It's,
show.
it's great to have him back.
Yeah,
It's just for that.
It really is.
I mean, every presser there's two or three
Yeah,
ones.
it's entertainment, innit? It's
Brilliant.
entertainment.
But on a serious note, they didn't do much. I think there was one shot on target in the first half. Raya does make an incredible
Great
save
fingertip save
from
yeah,
the
sorry,
kind
by
of
the way.
weird shot.
Yeah. It was off
Chris
Wood's
Wood.
chest.
Off his chest.
Off his chest.
Yeah,
Fingertip save.
Balotelli one. So, you know, what does the future hold for him? Because I looked at the fixtures for Forest coming up, right? And instantly, in his first 4 games, he's got, well, let's just get it up because there's no
It's
point in
decent,
trying to lie. He's got Swansea in the Cup away. If you get through, I mean, he's got 3 opportunities, well, 3 opportunities to win a trophy.
Also, are we calling this his first season? That's very important.
No, it's his 3rd season because remember, the 3rd season's always better than the second series.
That's a different club.
No.
That's different club. Right, like, are we saying that I don't mind which way this goes, but I think he has to decide whether he's saying, is it 2 full seasons? Or is it just 2 seasons? Like, I don't mind where he goes, but like we've just
Wait, what do you mean? Isn't he
he was
counting this as your...
I win in my
So he
second
doesn't
season.
win it.
Right. Well, I told you it was the second season.
Yeah. But if they doesn't win it
club.
next year, can he be like, no, I've only had 1 full season.
Nah, if you come in September, that's your
I
first
just
season.
need it cleared up.
That's your
3
first
games
season.
in. Come on.
Especially international break, you've got time in the training ground. That's your first season.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he was very brash at the end. He said, "Look, there is no weeks and months to get used to it. We've got a game on Wednesday, and they will be ready. I'm going to force it into
No,
them,
that's fair.
essentially."
I think that's fair. He's not taking. Sorry to cut. Yeah, he's not taking the pressure off the players. He's saying, "Look, I'm here for a job, and I've got to do it." That's one thing I've liked about him is he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's just like, "Look, he's not going to mince his words. He gets the job done. He wants to get the job done." So yeah, there's no excuses. He knows he's under pressure. If he doesn't deliver.
So it's Swansea in the Cup away, Burnley away next week, and then Real Betis away.
Yeah.
Our
Anthony!
favourite Spanish team.
They're Betis aren't playing at home.
Imagine if he scores as well.
He's going to dunk it.
In Seville.
He just will.
Yeah, they're playing in Seville, but Betis are away from the Villa Marine this season because it's been refurbished. So
They
they're
did
playing all
need
the
a
games
bit
at
of
the
a
Cap
refurb,
Tour. See. So they're it's back to where they won the Coupe del Rey a couple of years ago.
Nice. Knowledge. So listen, he has got 3 away games there. Well, he's got 4 away games in a row to start with, which is
with Arsenal. Yeah,
some spell that. And when you look at the teams, if he wins that Swansea game, if he wins that Betis game, but loses the Burnley game, they're happy, I would say.
If they win the Burnley game.
Just get through the rounds
Yeah.
of the
Even
cup.
if
Let's win a
it's-
cup.
get
That's
through
what
the rounds.
he's in the interview said. Have you seen what I did last year? That crock of rubbish. I literally won a cup. European. I'm a champion right now. I'll do that
He's got a
again for
better
you if
team.
you want.
He's got a better team to work with now with Forest.
I think it
compared to
probably,
Spurs, isn't it?
suits him a little bit more. There's like certain players in this. What was interesting, I thought, and we said this earlier, right? But like, it wasn't like Forest played an incredibly kamikaze style of football today. And obviously, he's got only a couple of days and stuff to work it out, and you got to kind of work a little bit. But I do think that there's been a lot made of the whole. Or Forest were incredibly defensive last year under Nuno, and they were right. Like that's how they set up. And this season, to start the season, we've seen a different kind of element to Forest. They've been a lot more kind of front foot forward. They've been a lot more possession based. We've seen a little bit more of, and I think the signings, like, part of this is potentially you can have that conversation. I'm sure Nuno's having conversations being like, they bought a load of players that I didn't want, right? Like, but you're looking at them and saying, are they Postecoglou players? Yeah, James McAtee's in the little gaps and whatever. I think that could be really interesting. Forest couldn't carry on doing what they were doing.
No.
Like there was an element of, one, they were outperforming the numbers to a ridiculous extent, and 2, towards the end of last season, people just worked it out. You look at the difference between their last like 10 games of the season and their first 28, and you're like, wow, okay, cool. People just was like, no, we can't do that. Annoyingly, I think for them it might have worked in Europe. But I don't think it was going to work again in the Premier League. So they've made a decision. Whether Ange is the right man or not to make that stick, I don't know. But I do think they needed to make a change at some point if they wanted to bounce off the momentum and kick on to becoming. Like, are they going to challenge a Brighton or an Aston Villa? Maybe is that where they want to be? Is that the next step? Because there's clearly money in the club. Like, complain all you want about Marinakis, and you
he's
can.
backed him. He's backed him in the transfer.
But there's
window,
money in there, and if you've got that and you're spending it, you're going to expect results.
Alex in Alex in the chat says Ange couldn't have implemented his ideas in the first game. He needs more time.
Yeah, agreed.
He also knows that he doesn't have bucket loads of time. His implementation has to happen on Wednesday, like he said. Ange should be kept forever. He's the greatest manager for 19 of 20 teams in the division, says James. The Arsenal fan just said that Ange got a better team now at Forest than last year at Spurs. This Arsenal fan just said Ange got a better team now at Forest than Spurs.
It's more depth. Spurs team, it's
debatable. I mean, listen, Forest finished 6th. And
Hudson
Spurs finished
White, Anderson,
17th.
Elliot Anderson's feels like a real Ange player. I feel like he feels like maybe a bit of anyone's player because he's that good. He's
top.
There's some really fun Ange Postecoglou type players here. Like Zinchenko, I think will do really well for him.
He will.
You're gonna have a little left back tucking inside.
Douglas Luiz inverting into that midfield.
I don't know what Douglas Luiz is anymore after last year at Juventus, but still,
It can't be as gun ho as it was for Spurs, though.
No.
It can't be. There's got to be a level. There's got to be something learnt from last season and from the 2 seasons. Do you remember the Chelsea game?
Yeah,
you can't do that again.
Is it somewhere between what Spurs did in the Europa League final and what they did for the majority of the Premier League?
Because also how Forest played last season, deep block counter attacking to completely in your face high press rock and roll. It's black and white. You got to pick somewhere in the middle there.
The game at the G-Tech is literally seconds away from kicking off. The referee blows his whistle and Kevin Schade gets us underway. We'll have an eye on this one whilst going through the rest of the games today.
What's that?
Yeah, this is.
You
want them both to lose.
They're like, can they both lose?
James in the chat says we should really have beaten Villa today. They were shocking. Martinez kept the minute, but Beto fumbled the bag multiple times. Need an actual centre forward. Up the effing toffees. I think that's the first Everton fan I've ever read out on DR Sport. not even having shots. I've just never. You know what I mean?
Of course, you're having shots.
Some shots there. Big up to Alexander Eze, who is a gold level member. Shout out to you, my friend. The game has now kicked off. 22 seconds in. Let's go to our other games of the day. Bournemouth 2, Brighton 1. Semenyo gets the goal to win the game and the assist that now put the Cherries 4th in the league. Now, I think there's an appreciation, a little segment here for Iriola, who just continues to defy the odds. His defence and a lot of his squad was torn away from him. He had to rebuild, go again. A lot of the same players, obviously he's implemented some new ones, but I mean, this fella is going to, and I've said it on this show so many times, he is going to manage one of the very, very top clubs. I feel like Harry Redknapp when he's talking about Frank Lampard.
He's going to go right to the
He's going right to the top. He's a terrific player.
Does it translate? That'd be my only question. I watched this Rayo Vallecano side. They were brilliant. They were more than the sum of their parts. There was a load of players who buy into it consistently, who run themselves into the ground for Iriola. You saw his Bournemouth team last year, players running themselves into the ground for Iriola. Does that translate if you're spending £100 million on players? And look, that's not to say it wouldn't. I'm just asking the question. I think he's a wonderful manager, but he completely and utterly relies on buy-in, and that I don't know if you get to the same extent at top club. I'd ask Nick, right? From an Amorim perspective, what we saw at Sporting was everybody bought in constantly to the idea. You go to United and they're like.
I don't think it's that. I think there is buy-in from the players, though. That's the thing. So, in the past, where we've spoken about Ten Hag and I don't know, Mourinho, even Ole, I do feel like there was an aspect of players not really giving it 100% or not believing in the capability of the manager. I do think the players are playing for Amorim, and frankly, if you're a United player, it's not worked for so long.
If you still think you're above it,
exactly. And I think that Ineos are actually filtering out those players anyway. So at a team like United, I feel like there could be buy-in, especially because I'd hope that Ineos can implement that culture. But when we have spoken about if Ruben Amorim goes, which I wouldn't mind him going, if I'm being completely honest. Really? But when we have spoken about him going, Iriola is top of my list. I've heard Oliver Glasner, etc. I'm not really, it's not really for me. But Iriola,
Gareth Southgate. Get him in, mate. Get him in.
It's too early, man.
Yeah.
Even for a Saturday night.
It was Alex Scott and Semenyo with the goals, Mitoma with the clever header at the back
Good
stick.
header.
What player
Brighton.
Scott is, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
great
Sensational
I think it's
footballer.
mad that they
He's a
got
gem.
him.
He was brilliant at Bristol City.
But he was so in demand, wasn't he? A couple of years ago.
Also,
I
what
remember.
a really sensible transfer from his perspective. Like, and I know it hasn't worked out exactly how he might have wanted it because of the injuries and whatever, but like he is now in that team, and you're looking at it and saying, okay, this could be
He's a
Alex
starter.
Scott's big breakout year to be like, I'm the guy this year.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, the Cherries win again, fourth in the table, just as a bit of Saturday football show fun. Can anyone guess the attendance today at Bournemouth?
Well, isn't it
I'll
like,
give you to the nearest 100.
11,800.
how much?
What's your guess?
11,800.
9,800.
10-5.
Is it 11?
11,617.
Is that the capacity?
Oh, it's brilliant.
Just shy of 12. Yeah.
Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0. Crystal Palace have not beaten Sunderland at home since 2013.
Yes.
25,000
How many
there
times have they
today.
played?
Yeah, I was going to say, they haven't faced each other at all.
That's
Surely.
Still a
crazy.
stat, isn't it?
Yeah,
Still a stat.
crazy.
Still a stat.
The last-
Yet to win at home this season, though, and we all know how intimidating Selhurst Park can be.
Yeah.
But Sunderland are also still seeking their first away win of the season. Goalless draw. Not much happened. Jeremy Pino looked the most likely to break the deadlock.
Had a few
he had
chances.
a couple of shots.
Had a few chances. He's a good player.
JPM hit the first shot, but that wasn't until the 49th minute of the whole game. So that leaves Sunderland 6th
It's a
and Palace 8th. That's 10 games unbeaten for Palace in the league, though.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a point apiece. I mean, for Sunderland, it's good, you know, because they're going to need every single point. But yeah, a little bit disappointing for Palace because, you know, playing at home, it is a very big fortress for them. But look, there's been a few games today that's been a bit underwhelming, which is a shame.
And another one of those, Everton Villa, the Jack Grealish derby. Beto, big early chance miss. We obviously just heard someone in the super chats there talking about that. Martinez returned. I think the Villa fans have just decided to forget and move on from what happened in the summer.
Well,
Nothing happened.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
On deadline day, he was sat with his agent waiting for United.
He's Peter Odom.
Like, he did want to get out.
That is
but he
sad.
made a brilliant double save, though, to be fair to him. And that's why you
And that's
bring him
how you
back
get
in.
forgiven.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, what ball?
But if you're Villa, chance here early for Brentford.
Goal.
Come on,
just
Brentford.
wide.
Kevin Schauder.
Hey, they're going to win. G-Tech, come on,
Yeah.
man.
Love the G-Tech Stadium, you know.
Legoland.
Yeah. I suppose you don't love it. I mean, I've had 2 of the best ever away days in my life there in the last 2 years.
Wasn't one of them Nunes?
On my
I had
birthday
one of mine
as well.
last year.
On my birthday, it was unbelievable. But Villa, another blank. They're shooting blanks at the minute. Unai Emery.
Only team in the top
Agitation.
7 divisions
Yes.
of English football not to score a goal.
That's a great
so far.
stat.
That's
Unreal,
crazy.
isn't it?
That's
It's
crazy.
unreal.
Harvey Elliott comes on. He tried. He was the bright spark at the end of the game. Failed to galvanise the side fully, though, by scoring or assisting. Do you think, and I'll throw it out there to the chat as well, Unai Emery,
I was just about to say.
he's not in trouble, is he?
I was just about to answer that as well.
He can't be.
Has he hit a ceiling?
Maybe.
He can't get any
Yeah.
worse than this, can
He
They
can.
it? And it will. And it will.
Is he in trouble? It would be not disrespectful to let him go, but he's overachieved.
pretty disrespectful
Yeah,
to
he's
let him go.
I would
overachieved.
say
at
be
Villa.
deeply disrespectful.
I'd be offended.
It depends how long.
I know,
this goes
Villa
on.
I'd be absolutely livid.
Yeah, but like I said this last time I was here, Villa just look stale. They look sort of out of ideas. Listen, maybe Harvey Elliott on the right, and Jadon Sancho on the left can give him something a bit different, because so far I feel like everything's far too narrow. Everything wants to go through the central areas, and if those passes aren't being played perfectly, you're not creating chances. And it's another game week where, all right, they haven't scored, but they haven't really created anything either. One shot on target, 0.54 expected goals. So, and you know what it is as well. You know the whole PSR stuff throughout the summer of them not being able to sign anyone. The players are very aware of that, and that obviously contributes to the morale of the squad. That can affect them in terms of they know not much is happening to improve this squad, and they feel like they need help, and etc. So Unai Emery can't be in trouble, but Aston Villa look like they're in trouble though. That's it.
No.
That would be a yellow card, surely.
Villa Villa are a really interesting one. Like that, I think that in terms of PSI, it felt worse for Villa almost than anyone else. And I know there's a lot made in Newcastle, but like Villa had the UEFA element of it as well. Because they've been 3 years in there, so they had to make a profit on their A list, as far as I'm aware of how it works. So like they basically couldn't do any. So they tried to sign William Asula, which isn't necessarily like the answer. I'm not suggesting that's but because they'd sold Jacob Ramsey to Newcastle. They couldn't bring Asula in because if two players switch sides like that, according to UEFA's rules, it's counted as a trade rather than even if they're not a swap deal. So like basically they were really hampered in terms of who they could sign as well as everything else. So Emery, I think, has earned more than enough credit in the bank. Like I think Villa, Villa could be bottom at Christmas and he'd still be fine. They won't be, for what it's worth. But I think it will take some time.
But they need to start scoring goals, Kwame.
That's the thing.
Yeah, because also this is like the best run of fixtures in the league right now. The Villa have had the start that they've had in terms of fixtures. It's been, and that's why I've got 3 FPL Aston Villa FPL players in my team because fixtures-wise they've had the best run and they've not scored a single goal.
Yeah, they're struggling. Ollie Watkins up top is struggling to get off the score sheet.
In a long
19th in the table now, the Villa.
2 points, is it?
2 points on the board so far, Next up, Newcastle 1, Wolves 0. Big Nick, Walter Marder scores 29 minutes in, which was actually the same time that Alexander Isak scored his first goal for Newcastle.
Let Newcastle
against
just get
Liverpool.
over it.
This is why you come to the Saturday show on DR Sports, ladies and gents.
Unless you're Newcastle fan.
Knowledge. I have to say though, really good cross, and it's one of those headers that it reminds me of the kind of header that Peter Crouch would score back in the day, where and not because they're both 6'6", but in terms of like just get to the back post, know that there's no one behind you, arm on the defender, rise up, and he's got no right to score that header. By the way, that is not a given for a header. And Sam Johnson had actually just made a great save just before it as well, so he was up. Nick Pope made some really good saves early on as well for Newcastle. But that goal, what does it do for him? What does it do for the fans now as well? And obviously it's their first win of the season. What does it do for the boost?
It's a weight off the shoulders, isn't it? Like the Isak thing went on for so long, and I feel like it was dragging them down for so long. Listen, you've got a really talented kid in Walter Mardy. We were speaking before the show saying how for someone of his size, technically, and with the ball to feet, you can control it, you can link other players into it. So it's looking a bit better for Newcastle. The Leeds performance from Newcastle was a bit disappointing. But overall, I feel like they've had a good start. And that's a nice little bit of competition for Wissa when he comes back into it as well. Very different profile of players, which I also think is very nice for them.
I think they can play together quite nicely. As in, I do wonder if we see a bit more of Voltemada in the 10, or at least in a strike pairing where he's dropping off. Because we saw that for Germany in the international break, right? Like the first game, Florian Wirtz played, Goretzka played, and they were all sort of on top of each other, and they didn't have anything, and they lost that game 2-0 to Slovakia. And then they played against Northern Ireland and appreciated, the level of opposition is not the same. Slovakia are a very, very decent unit. But what I thought was really interesting was that was the game where Gnabry played on one side and Jamie Leveling played on the other, who was Voltemada's teammate at Stuttgart. They both went in behind, and I'm thinking, Gordon, Alanga, maybe Visser over the top. Suddenly you've got some very, very interesting pass if he wants to drop in and occupy that space. So I think it could be really interesting. He's a really, really unique footballer.
Very good.
He's really good.
He's very, very good.
But also, he's one of those where he's had, he obviously moved from Werder Bremen to Stuttgart on a free last summer. He wasn't expected to be the guy. Demirovic was meant to be the dude. And then literally he scores every round of the DFB Pokal. He scores all the way to final. They win that tournament. And then suddenly everyone's like, whoa, he did brilliantly at the Euro, the under-19 Euros. And then you're like, he is so weird. In terms of, he is a proper unicorn player.
His stature,
you don't see anyone really playing like that. People are like a bit Crouch, a bit Berbatov. There's loads of different.
Ibrahimovic.
Quick
feet though as well.
Really quick feet.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can put him in any of the camps because he's kind of a bit different to all of them. Whether that translates to the Premier League or not is a real question. But what a start to get yourself to a place that
It's a great start, and it's great for Eddie Howe. And I love the goal. I was looking at his footwork. That's one of the things, and him judging the flight of the ball. Great cross as well from, was it Murphy? So, it was great. The way for you to kind of get over the whole thing is obviously score a goal straight away. And, they got their result. So, it was fantastic.
And for the fans now, Nick, when they see their new striker, he's not, the number 9 maybe that they wanted to keep or that was their first choice, but it's number 27. 2 + 7 is 9 anyway. So, he's there or thereabouts. But for the fans, though, for him to just straight away, bang, half an hour in, hold that, I'm the new fella, I'm up top, I'm the number 9, I'm starting every week. Here we go, love me.
It's massive. It's massive. It's what United fans wanted Sesko to, how he wanted him to start. It's not really started like that for him. So, no, it is massive. It is and you know what as well? Walter Mada was very close to going Bayern, wasn't he? And I actually think this is, in a way, a better move for him. He's going to play a lot more football. He's not going to be stuck behind Harry Kane. So, if you're a Newcastle fan, you're up right now. You're happy. I mean, I still think Newcastle, in terms of the season ahead, I still think squad depth-wise, Champions League, Premier League, that might be a bit of something for them to think about, because last time they did it, they fell off. But no, in terms of the fans, look, you can't really complain, can you?
Squad's got stronger. Generally across the board, I think squad's got quite comfortably stronger in terms of Malik Chow coming in terms of Jacob Murphy coming in. And I think with Elanga as well, and look, Murphy and Elanga obviously already starting to rotate. I think the Newcastle have got stronger across the board. Whether they have the same top level is probably a different question.
That's the thing,
right?
they're probably missing is that star quality.
Next up, Fulham versus Leeds. Now, Jack, you were at the game.
I was,
You were at the game.
For my sins in a previous life, I think.
I mean, if you guys haven't seen the goal that separated these two teams, it was a Goodmanson header in the 94th minute. It's from a corner, I believe, or a flick on from a corner. I mean, if that goal is scored at the other end, he's taking his shirt off and going wild, getting a yellow. What a header.
Yeah.
But Jack, what did you feel like when you saw that floating into the far left corner in the last dying moments of the game?
Well, I started laughing to begin with. It was pure relief.
Did you know it instantly? It was.
Like, as in, also, it's really weird because there's a player in front of him who kind of just like shirks it, and then it just hits him on the head, and you're like, oh, he's known nothing about that. I mean,
probably hurts.
You should still be more aware than he was, and I wonder if there's just a little bit of switching off in the 95th minute or wherever it is, but. Yeah, it's quite comical, and it was pure relief as opposed to anything else. Like, neither of these teams were good in the slightest. Like, Fulham were the better side in the last 20 minutes and probably in the first 20 minutes, but Leeds had created the better chances end of the first half. There was a great strike from Longstaff to hit the bar, and there's a couple of kind of nice moments. You're like, okay, where is this kind of working out? But I thought when it got to 70 minutes, and I was on a Leeds preview show beforehand, and I was like, if it gets to 70 minutes and it's 0-0, I'll be very surprised we find a way. And obviously the manner of it is a bit ridiculous. But the good news from a Fulham perspective is that Kevin came on.
Yeah. Big Kev.
The club record signing, and oh my God, he's fun. Like, as in he's
fun.
Have
a good time with this guy?
Yeah, like he's absolutely red raw. But he came on, he'd done about 15 stepovers in the first 2 minutes. You're like, okay, cool.
Was his girlfriend there?
But there was
trying to impress.
There were some amazing moments, like as in he does like this Trivela outside the book cross where it comes back to Adama Traore, who should do better. He kind of forces the corner that Fulham scored from with a lovely little 1-2 with Ryan Sessegnon and a strike from the edge of the box. And you're just thinking, he's got a bit of X factor. And to be honest, for most of the game, Fulham were really stale. I thought Emil Smith-Rowe made a real difference when he came on as well. And you know what? It's the first time that I've seen, and this is no criticism because Josh King is 18 years old and he's been absolutely outrageous. But this is the first time a game really passed him by, I think, a little bit. Okay. And it's good, I think, for Fulham to be. He needs to work his way into the team. He needs to show his hand. And I think that Smith-Rowe was Fulham's record signing until Kevin came in. You got to have these two and Josh King and be like, right, you're not guaranteed the spot. You got to earn it. And Smith-Rowe has been banging on the door in his sub performances, which is cool. And I think that he probably deserves a shout next weekend. And you'd be like, cool, go on then, Josh, earn your way back into the side. Show us what you got when you. And I think that's good at 18 years old. You need that kind of. One, you need a bit of pressure, and two, you want to be rewarded for good performances and not given kind of the benefit of the doubt because you're a Fulham fan and you're a youngster.
Can I quickly ask, what's your expectations for the season for Fulham as a Fulham fan? Like, what's your pinnacle? What would you like to achieve this?
Well, as in my first expectation or first real desire is to actually sign Marco Silva to a new contract. That'd be ideal. Look, I don't want to. I think there'll be a relegation scrap this year. Like, I think it could be 6-7 teams in a relegation battle this year. I want to be nowhere near it. I don't want to be looking over my shoulder. I think ideally, and Marco Silva, I think, wants to push for either Europe or go far in a cup. Like, we've had a couple of opportunities. Obviously, we played Liverpool a couple of years back in the Carabao semi. We got to the quarters in the FA Cup with one game away. We lost that game to Palace. I think the Marco Silva, he knows that he is a trophy away, and I know that's a big thing for him. Never won a major trophy like bar the Intertoto Cup, but like when you, I think he knows. Yeah, well, it is in my book, mate. But like he knows that a trophy makes him the greatest Fulham manager of all time. In a way that you probably argue that is Oliver Glasner the greatest Palace
Eddie
manager
Howe.
of all time.
Eddie Howe for Newcastle, maybe.
So you're putting it in that kind of context, and so I think that he wants to kind of go that extra step, and getting back into Europe would probably cement him in the same kind of category. So I think that's probably the top end. I don't think Fulham are going to push higher than 8th, and I think even that would be a stretch. But I don't want to be looking over my shoulder.
I don't think you will.
I think we'll be okay.
I can see Fulham pulling.
Yeah.
Can I just say though, it's always a little bit suspect when you get a Brazilian player with like a name like Kevin. You know what I mean? It's like, or like a Fred.
I'm calling him Kev.
He could be the best player in the world, or he could be absolutely dreadful. Do you know what I mean? We'll see.
Brazilian Dave's coming on.
Dave's coming.
Dave.
Who was the Fred striker for Brazil? Was it 2014?
Yeah, he played for
Fred.
Yeah, Fred.
Fred.
Yeah. I remember because I didn't know who he was, but I thought, he plays. It's number 9 for Brazil. He must be all right. I saw him playing.
Is he the worst number 9 Brazil have ever had?
I'm not. I wouldn't know, but probably. Probably.
Probably not. It's actually the last couple of years have been real barren.
True. Big up the Fulham then. 1-0 winners.
Look,
take it how you get it.
We take it because it's one of those where the first couple of weeks have obviously been frustrating, like the bits and bobs that went on against Chelsea, and I'm not going back into it again. I've scrapped that from my mind, but that was tough. A couple of I think United could have been 3-0 up against us in the first 20 minutes, but then the manner that the goal is given and the Euro push and all of those bits, it's frustrating. So I feel like Fulham fans have had a bit of a chip on their shoulder about what's happened. So not stealing a win in terms of we didn't get bad decisions or anything like that, but kind of nicking 3 points when we probably only deserved 1. Felt quite nice.
Yeah. There you go. Couple of chats.
For Leeds fans, do you know what I mean?
Sorry, Leeds.
Master of Disaster in the chat says Joel Linton is looking for you, AGT. You will pay for Isak. AGT will get sacked first due to a broken leg, courtesy of Joel Linton, the GOAT.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, this is really dark, mate.
You'll get sacked
Do you know what the funny thing is? I was in Joel Linton's bits, mate. And where was he? I was there I was there 2 weeks ago. Where was he? Crying going off the pitch, mate. Yeah. When he was giving it the big one before, he was crying going off the pitch. So hold that one. He's going off again. Be careful when you're in the parking lot. Joel Linton might be there.
Parking lot.
Come on, buddy. Big Bird says, need to keep Jack around. Really good.
He's very good.
Very
I
good.
like
The
him.
knowledge is there, man. I'm telling you. That's
man.
why I get him on the show.
He's
Big
cool.
up AGT. Frimpong Backspeed Demon. We'll speak about that game tomorrow as well. One more game to talk about that has happened, and this one is happening 20 minutes into this derby, and little to no action so far. I mean, it's a bit scrappy.
It's scrappy.
It's a couple of chances, both ends actually, but nothing to write home about.
No, for sure.
I think Brentford have had the better
Brentford are looking.
it's late.
They're winning the 50-50
It's
a
late.
lot more.
Counter-attacking stuff,
It's
but
very
tossing just
counter-attacking.
does that all day.
Very counter-attacking.
West Ham 0, Tottenham Hotspur 3. Controversial first goal denied. Push. I mean, it's a double-handed. It's a bit of a grab/push. I mean, it's a little bit tasty, but I don't know. I think the game's gone if you're disallowing goals like that.
Pretty sure Lenny Yoro over one of those a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Of course he remembers.
No, but he's right. He's right. He's right.
It's one of those.
He's right.
Chip on the shoulder. Chip on the
6 to 1,
shoulder.
half a dozen of the other, I think they call it.
7 and 5, I'd say, on that one. Xavi Simons assists on his debut. You know,
he looked good.
didn't like what he saw in the first Tottenham game he witnessed, where they lost to Bournemouth, but he's definitely involved in this one. Starts the game, wears the 7 dog.
Yeah.
You know, he's made a good start in his debut there. Gets an assist.
Yeah.
The Thomas Souček red card. We've all seen it. It's one of those where, and I've done it myself playing football. It's one of those where you're reaching for the ball. You're not confident you're going to get it, so you're extending your leg.
Yeah.
And then when they nick it away, even though your intentions were to nick the ball with your maybe toe, because his boot goes in like this. It's not really studs. It's toe. But unfortunately for him, his studs do rip the socks off the Tottenham player. So it looks like a really kind of malicious go through tackle. But he tried to toe it away, and he's kind of scraped the sock a bit. Obviously the Tottenham player goes down. He kind of goes, get up, man. But can you see why they've given it?
Yeah, I can see why.
100%. Like, as in, like, also it's a bit, and I love this phrase: play stupid games, win stupid prizes, isn't it? Like, you like, don't go in like that, especially when your team needs you, especially when you're being a bit overrun already in a game, in a derby. I can understand it, but I also just think that it's unfortunate that it's probably a red. That is probably how I describe it.
I've just watched it back again, but I think it's a red. I think it's a bit silly.
You see what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I see what he's trying to do.
Malice, but you just can't get away with that.
You can't do that. You can't do it. Just don't do it. You're professional enough just to know, like,
I can let this ball go as well. Like,
But he's kind of committed, so he thinks I've got to stretch for this.
He probably thought he had it, but I think that's his second red in his career. It's a shame. He did look a little bit downhearted, but West Ham needed him, and then the floodgates kind of opened up after that. West Ham look like they're in a lot of trouble, and I said this before.
After such a great win in their last game away at Forest, I just did not expect to see that at all. But
does that speak more of Forest?
Caught Forest off guard, to be honest.
So Forest were fine for like the first 60 minutes of that game, and they just couldn't break through. And then there was that switch back, and we saw Potter go to the 4 at the back, and it kind of opened up. A little bit of magic. That can happen, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, that game got Nuno sacked. That's how bad it was to lose to West Ham.
He was on his way anyway. He was on his way.
They were like, "Well, you lost to this West Ham." You're joking me.
Oh, it's a chance. No, cleared away for Brentford.
Really well played by Bergvall as well. He's
goal and an assist for the
goal
first
and
time.
assist, but the pass from Romero is really nice. But then the header from Bergvall is not the kind of goal you expect from him. It's also not the run you expect from him, really.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like the furthest player forward when that header gets over
the
the
third man running was good.
No, he's a good player.
Bergvall's
good talent.
I watched a clip of a podcast. Was it a Marine player that when they played Spurs last season, and he said Bergvall was one where it was just like you couldn't get near him, so quick glides across the pitch.
good.
Scored that big winner for
back in
Spurs
trouble?
against Liverpool.
I think that there was a real change of attitude after one game, and that's not to say that things all football fans are fickle, right? I'm not digging out West Ham here, but in terms of. It felt like, they made a change. They went to the 4 at the back. There was a bit more energy in midfield. Suddenly it looked a little bit better. And then we saw the stadium at the end of that game. And obviously it's horrible losing that game in particular. But West Ham been a bit lifeless, having not really that much fight. I think Potter's back under the exact amount of pressure he was on before that Forest game.
It's also because it's Tottenham, isn't it? If
there's
any game,
they've now lost to Chelsea and Tottenham at home, and they've been pretty comfortably hammered by both. That's not comfortable if you're a West Ham fan at all. I get it.
And I think there was something before the game about West Ham saying that if half and half scarves were seen before kickoff, it would be taken off them or something of the sort. So the fact that it's Spurs,
it's totally reasonable.
Fair. But the fact that it's Spurs,
Kudus' face on each half. I doubt how many they would tell.
I like that.
I'll be honest. But listen, it's an awful result for West Ham. I mean, we mentioned Graham Potter. There is a certain Jose Mourinho available on the market. He went back to Porto today to watch a game.
Does love living in London.
He does.
But I don't.
Surely not. You know what I mean?
He actually knew where he used to live in the Barnet kind of area, and even that, it's perfectly placed between Arsenal, Tottenham's training ground, and West Ham's is just there. And he loves a bit of drama.
He's covering all bases.
I mean, he could become in. He could get in the EastEnders.
But if you're a West Ham owner though, do you really go?
They're just not going to pay him, are they?
No, there's that.
That's the money here. They got the money.
But also, it's just like with Mourinho, it's a ticking time bomb, and at some point, it's going to explode. So it's
a risk.
It's just like don't go in for another Graham Potter. Go in for just a functional, another version of David Moyes. I mean,
who you got to pick from?
Because we can all talk and say what they need.
There's got to be a candidate out.
Nuno Espirito Santo.
Yeah,
oh, that's a great shout. That's a great shout. Yeah, that's a great shout. Yeah,
for West Ham.
Yeah, first I'd rather live in London than Nottingham. So
he also seems he might be a bit nice for it. That's the thing with Potter, right? We were talking about this before the show, but Potter feels like a Brighton manager, like a Fulham manager. He doesn't feel like a West Ham manager, and there has to be someone with a little bit of bite,
a little bit of grit.
He's got a good West Ham name though. I think Potter. I think that's a good.
Yeah, but he doesn't say
like Harry Potter.
He doesn't say
like Harry Potter.
He can't deal with the EastEnders.
Harry Potter at the minute. Let's move on to the Chelsea-Brentford game, or the Brentford-Chelsea game, I should say. Still 0-0, 26 minutes in now.
Somewhat control from Chelsea. I mean, kind of a frantic start. Brentford had a few breakaways, but it does seem like a 50-50 game. If I was Brentford, I'd be happy with it. They just need to break them down. But look, João Pedro's not really getting much there.
No, not much change there. Right, tomorrow's got a big game on DR Sports. 4:00 we're live with Manchester City United. With all of City's injuries though, does this win for Pep become even more important now because of the poor form plus the injuries. He's got to find a way to win this game tomorrow, surely.
It's more the poor form, I'd say, than it is the injuries. He needs to win. Amrim less so, but Amrim could use a result as well, even if it's just to get some of the fans back on board. But it's such a weird game to call. I've never seen a derby like. So with both the teams in such odd form, I don't really know what to make of it. City started really well against Wolves and it went flat against Brighton. So it stinks of a Man United snatch and grab, if I'm being honest. It does. Like last season, what we saw with Ahmad in the last minute, I could see that happening again. What does that mean for United? Not that much. But yeah, for Pep, he need, and as well. Not that I don't think it really matters anyway. But you lose tomorrow and you're out of the title race completely.
Really?
Yeah, you don't lose. You don't lose 3 games by September.
We know they start poor though.
You don't lose 3 games.
But they haven't lost that many this early.
You do not lose 3 games by September and be in a title race.
Especially if they're not to teams who might be in it, who you get the chance to kind of claw it back on. Like these are like you could lose these and you could lose. The big matchups when they come. I think might be slightly premature. But I see where you're coming from.
Yeah,
I think also what's interesting with City is that the invincible sheen has gone. I think last year you kind of looked at it and thought, okay, they're vulnerable, but that's because of the injuries and the fact that Rodri's there. And I watched the Brighton game, and they probably should have been 3-4-0 up, right? Like they were excellent. They had the chances. In the first half. Haaland should have scored an absolute hatful. Yeah. And then you're watching them in the second half and thinking, this doesn't feel like City. Like Rodri's on the pitch, he's not. And look, I'm not saying that he needs to be the best player in the world immediately when he comes back from injury, but like the Brighton are looking at them going, hang on. You feel gettable,
but they need him to be that player again. That's the issue. They need, because like the midfield often feels so empty. We talked about it. The reason why Rodri won the Ballon d'Or was clear because Man City was so night and day without him, right? Yeah. So I think that's almost a bit of a mistake on their part in the transfer market. I think Reinders and Kovacic in there could do a bit.
That's late.
But you're missing a lot without a Rodri who's at 100%. Is this a red card?
No, I don't think
so. No, it won't be.
So they need him there.
Who do you play him alongside? Because I actually do wonder if they go to a 3 in midfield tomorrow and play Reinders as the kind of one furthest forward.
So like a Reinders, Rodri.
Play like a Reinders, Rodri and maybe like a Nico O'Reilly or a Nico Gonzalez. One of them just to give themselves a little bit more balance in there and maybe take a little bit of pressure off Rodri.
Yeah.
It's how they want to approach the game,
given the fact that Marmoush is out, Shirky's out, right? Like you're kind of is this the game you bring Phil Foden back in for? Probably not, as far as I'm concerned.
Mate, Phil Foden, you know what?
In the derby, you can't bring him back for the derby. When are you ever going to bring him?
Yeah, but he's battling fitness. He's battling there's loads of bits going on there that that Pep's talking about. But I don't think they're going to have enough in terms of playing the number 10. Maybe Bernardo plays wide. Maybe one of the 3 is Bernardo, right? Like okay, fine, but I think they won't necessarily play with a 10 then. Bernardo plays in that gap rather than playing with a 4-2-3-1 with Bernardo and Rodri together at the base.
I could hear it because you know what, like on the counter is where United could hurt them. If you think of like Bruno's ability to find a pass and Buemo's ability, Buemo is rapid. Sesko's got a bit on him as well. He can get going as well. So
does Sesko start?
It's weird to me if he doesn't.
Do you reckon the balance? The thing is, who plays as the third part of that front 3?
Well, all right. So, thing is, if Dalot was fit, I could see Dalot playing, right? But because Dalot's injured, I think Ahmad starts right wing back. Right. If Ahmad then starts right wing back, your 2 10s, I reckon, are probably in Buemo and Bruno, and then Sesko's got. I feel like he's got to start.
He has to,
because you've been playing a front 3 of Mount, Cunha, and then Buemo, which I was all for. I get why he was going with that. It made sense. The energy that it gives you is unreal. But when 2 of those players, Cunha's dropping, and that's what Ruben Amorim's like whole system is, right? That one of the 10s is often the one to drop because to give you an extra body in the midfield. So we always expected that to happen. But if 2 of those front 3 in Mount and Cunha get injured, and you still don't play your £70 million striker, then it's a bit. It's definitely a bit odd. Yeah, it's definitely a bit odd. But like, I mean, I don't know. Like, could you play Ahmad and Buemo and Bruno and Mazraoui right wing back? Maybe, but Xerxes maybe back in. Xerxes is still a weird one.
He spent so much money on a striker.
No, he should start.
No. I wonder if Xerxes plays as like even if Šeško starts as the third
as a 10. He could do, and then Bruno in the midfield again. But the thing is, I mean, like the Kobe conversation is like. It is like,
It is what it is,
yeah,
right?
it is what it is. I'm sick and tired of it because ultimately I know that Kobe Mainoo is a 3-man midfield player. He's not a 2-man. He's not a double pivot.
Yeah.
He's not the role doesn't, because also as well the way we want to play bypasses the midfield in the build up anyway.
Yeah.
So you're not actually getting what Kobe's good at. Which again is a massive reason why I just don't like the system.
Amarin,
Like, rant about it all
You could
day.
do with
But
Lissandro back, I think, in terms of playing the ball out from the back.
who, sorry? Oh, Lissandro. Yeah, of course.
I thought you were genuinely taking a mick there.
No, Lissandro.
Sorry, I haven't heard
To be fair, though, I mean, like Luke
You mean the
Shaw-
butcher?
Yeah.
Pat Butcher.
No. He's Lissandro is top. Lissandro is top.
Lissandro
Luke
is
Shaw
excellent.
gives you a bit of that. To be
Yeah,
fair, he gives you a bit. But yeah, he's got to start surely.
Do you
right?
think? Because I'm thinking about like the Man United derbies that we've had, or not just Manchester derbies. Do you feel like it's kind of gone down a piece in terms of its rivalry? It doesn't have that kind of same bite to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just seems kind of just they're playing tomorrow kind of thing. You know?
Yeah, so well, the thing is, because first of all, because it's so early on in the season, that always takes a bit off it. But also, yeah, maybe so, because obviously, like in the past, it's like it's been City going for the title and Man United trying to hurt their chance of winning the title. That's not there right now. There isn't really anything to play for other than the 3 points. But listen, it's still a derby. There's still it's still got something to it. Of course, it does. But yeah, it's just an odd one. Neither teams are looking good right now.
Yeah.
Who needs this win more?
I feel obviously Amarin needs it more.
Do you reckon?
Do you reckon? I actually think it's City.
Yeah, because they're at home as well.
See,
Like you can lose to Man City. Like I don't think Amarin's going to be judged. And look, if they get battered, I said this about West Ham today, right? And I was like, they can lose to Tottenham 1-0, they can't get battered anyway. They go and get battered. But like, I think United can lose tomorrow. They can't be absolutely hammered. Whereas I think if City lost, it'd be like, whoa, okay,
is there
you're
a problem?
in big trouble. Yeah.
But I don't know because we kind of saw it from last season. You know, I just feel like. This is a different. I was going to ask: Is this the beginning of the end?
Oh,
for
it's a
Pep?
great ball from Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, it is. Oh, wait, hold
Kevin Sharder,
He's
1-on-1.
Goal.
Get it! Come on, Jordan Henderson assist. Yeah, captain, fantastic.
Great finish.
Yeah, good
Great finish.
That is your first live reaction of a Premier League goal on the Saturday Football Show
mate.
for about 3 years.
Great ball from Hendo. Everyone's been
Defending was a bit questionable.
Tosin Adebayo being absolutely sat down again.
That's brilliant.
Adebayo looked heavy there.
It's hard though to defend.
Let's
from
have a look at that again.
No, I know. You don't know where to turn.
Great header out from Pinner.
Let's see this.
Yeah. And he won the goal up, didn't he?
It's a bit scrappy in the middle. Comes to Jordan
Hendo.
Henderson. Oh, that's a great ball.
Great ball.
Hendo.
He's still got a lot to do, though.
Mate.
Outside
Still
of the
out
box.
here. Deflection, yes.
But he's kind of.
But they will not care. Sanchez
Defender
running
needs to
back
do
to
a
his
lot
goal.
more. Defender needs to do a lot more.
Head
That was
down,
too easy.
Comes
I
off
can't
tossing.
believe Sanchez is still in goal for Chelsea.
Considering
That's
the
the problem with Chelsea. We've said is those
defense.
two things.
Right there. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, there's not loads you can do about that.
And this is where again everyone was talking about Chelsea competing for the title at the beginning of the season. I was like, you're not competing with that, with those centre backs and that keeper. Listen, no Premier League.
It's a 2-team title race, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's a 2-team title race.
Yeah,
I said before Colwell got injured, I said, you know what, Chelsea have got a chance, but
I think
keeper, you know what it is?
it's the keeper.
Like, no one's ever won a Premier League. I don't think anyway. Won the Premier League with a Robert
Fabian
Sanchez.
Barthez.
Oh, you pulled that one out, yeah.
But United were that unreal.
Saturday Football Show. Welcome back.
United were that unreal.
Barthez was cold.
Fabian Barthez.
But yeah, no,
He was a weird one though. He was alright sometimes.
Love to see.
Yeah,
he was good
Fabian.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Love to see in the shower.
That weird thing came up
Not
this
that I was
week
in the
actually
shower
of
with
him
him,
with him like giving away the penalty by kicking
was
someone
it?
and then saving the penalty.
Oh,
Against the
Barthez. Yeah.
Came up this week. I was
He's
like,
a
very
legend.
good,
Yeah. Only small as well, like 5'8".
Yeah,
He's
not
tiny.
5'8". He wasn't that small.
5'10".
Yeah, 5'10", 5'11".
Right, matchups for tomorrow. Right, one of the new segments we're doing on the Saturday Football Show is we're looking ahead to the big games on the Sunday, and we're looking at specific matchups in games, and we're seeing who comes out on top. Not like that. Haaland versus Lenny Euro is the first one. Now, as we know, Haaland, let's say, gets frustrated when he plays against centre backs who are on the front foot, who will put their elbows and hands all over you. Well, who's going to win that battle? Because I actually see potentially Euro doing well there
Euro's
against
really
Haaland.
good. Euro's really good. The thing is, I can also see De Ligt getting a hold of Haaland a lot more than Euro potentially, because I just think that's just a more natural fit. I think I think as a collective we could keep Haaland quite quiet tomorrow, because he hasn't had the best of start in terms of Man City aren't creating a bucket load for him.
Scored 5.
He done well in the
I know,
international break,
but
though.
against Moldova, and also there's I
never a
forgot
foul,
his
that, by
name.
the way.
Asgard for Norway came on as a substitute and bagged 4.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So one of them was a pen, but still a Hattie as a sub against Moldova. So what can you really? And Ødegaard played well for once. So can you really look into it too much?
Really?
It's late.
Hey, you lot better win tomorrow, boy.
He's
Also,
taking
Ødegaard
receipts.
now injured. So
Yeah,
at what
yeah,
cost?
he came out with a buzz cut. It didn't last long.
We can all beat Moldova, but we'll be fit the next game, mate. Yeah.
I'll give that one. I'll back my boy Lenny Euro. I like him a
You're
lot.
gonna go Euro?
But again, like I said, Delict will help out a lot there.
And again, we're not saying specifically which team will win or something like that. It's this matchup. Who wins
Yeah.
the matchup?
I think the first 20 minutes is really important here.
Yeah.
Like, as in, like, if Haaland gets across him a couple of times the first 20 minutes, and I think, look, what we saw in the Brighton game was you can get frustrated, and it was John Paul Van Hecke just like tearing at him, and
Yeah.
he's a little master of the dark arts.
Yeah,
Van Hecke.
he
I
likes
think
a little
someone
push
will,
and a pull.
Yeah, someone will be looking at that next summer, I think. But like, I think first 20 minutes there, if Haaland gets ahead of it, it's a really, like, that could be a really uncomfortable afternoon for Lenny Euro. But if they keep him quiet for the first sort of 20 or so, I could see Haaland getting frustrated with it.
I don't think Euro's got a chance with Haaland. I'll be honest. 1v1, physicality wise, experience. He is a goal machine, and as much as Man City have got their frailties at the back, I believe that he would love to score against Man United tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I can see him kind of being the guy to lead it forward.
I think if he scores one tomorrow, he could get like
Could
a
open the
brace.
floodgates.
The floodgates could open.
Yeah, and it also depends who's going to play in goal, who's starting in goal for you.
Bayern.
There you go. So for me, I'm looking at that and I'm like,
I mean, he
"Wow."
could just throw one in the net. The matchup could be him and himself.
Yeah.
Done it before.
Yeah.
So has Nana. They teach each other.
yeah.
This is a matchup I'm really looking forward to. Mbeumo versus Ruben Diaz. Tricky, very tricky customer to
He's
deal
had a
with.
funny start to the season, Diaz. I'll
Yes.
be honest. Yeah, he's
Injured as well, I think, wasn't
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
think Mbeumo wins this battle.
Mbeumo's difficult to mark. I wouldn't like to mark Mbeumo. His movement, over the shoulder, even when he gets the ball down and he dribbles at you, is very hard to stop. So, and he's very smart as well. He picks up really good positions. So, I think Diaz has got his work cut out. I'd probably say Mbeumo.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll
I'll
say
go for
Mbeumo
that.
in my opinion.
Score predictions for the game, boys?
I don't know.
0-0.
Like, I think Nick was bang on earlier. Like, it's a really, really weird
It is
game to
weird,
call.
yeah.
Like, in terms of like everything on paper says City just find a way to do this, especially at home, and what you're talking about being a derby earlier, and look, this is one of those things. And as the smaller brother in a like a derby relationship with Chelsea last weekend, for example, like Fulham fans care far more about the game against Chelsea than Chelsea fans do. That's just the long and short of it. And I think considering United's rivalry with Liverpool, like for years, City fans were like, "Oi, what about us?" And now the fact that they're a force within their own right, etc., and obviously it's a one that splits the city. Then that's happened. And I think the City fans, like, this is the one. And I remember talking to City fans for years, and then be like, "Yeah, we don't really care about the Champions League. This is a while back, but we don't care about that. All we want to do is get ahead of United and finish ahead of United." And I was like, "Yeah, fair. Like, I totally get that from the perspective of being in the city and understanding the relationships within it." So I think in front of the Etihad tomorrow, in front of that City fans who will be absolutely desperate to make sure that it continues to go the way it's going, I think City win it. I think it's 3-1 City.
They gotta win it. Yeah.
I'll go 2-1 City.
I'll go 3-0 City.
3-0 Man City.
Allow it,
Another
man.
big game tomorrow.
That's because I said that's because the Ødegaard comment.
on, no, 4-0 for the Odegaard comment.
Make it 5.
Yeah, 5.
Make it 7.
It's a weird one, but I back the boys. I'll say 2-1 United.
2-1 United, Nick
why
says,
not?
the Manchester
I wouldn't
United
be
fan.
like,
He's
it's
backing
one of those
them.
weird ones, isn't it? Like, I wouldn't be stunned if
Yeah.
City won 5-0. I also wouldn't be stunned if United won it.
Nah.
Like, it's just one of
One
those.
thing I will say though, as much as
don't
I
think
don't
you'll
like
get
Ruben
battered.
Amorim, we don't get battered.
Yeah,
Under
no,
Ruben
that's fair.
Amorim, we
Yeah.
don't lose big. We lose 1 goal, 2
Lose
goal
often.
margins.
Lose often.
Not
Little
Yeah, we
and
lose often or draw
Little and
often,
often.
but we don't actually lose by big margins.
I can feel a football moment.
Another big game tomorrow, if you're a Liverpool fan. Isaac's debut.
Or a Burnley
right?
fan.
Burnley versus Liverpool.
Come on.
The matchup we're looking at is Jadon Anthony versus Konate. Anthony 2 goals in his last 2. I think Konate has the experience to just almost deal.
I just don't think
Deal with
Jadon
him.
Anthony's going to get the ball there.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that one.
He started well, but like Liverpool are going to dominate. Yeah, he's not going to get many chances.
Yeah,
so,
they're not.
It should be Canate.
I think it'll probably be fine.
And even so, like if Burnley
the
get
production
if,
trying to be fair here.
yeah, but
And they've
if
got
he,
TK Esteve.
I think that's
here as
actually
well.
a more intriguing kind of matchup because Esteve was excellent last year in the Championship, and like Burnley holding on to him, I think has been one of the most important things of their summer, especially because CJ Egan-Riley left and James Trafford left. So like that's a big one. I think also it's going to be really interesting to see what Liverpool like, and perhaps more intriguing at how Liverpool line up. I think Ekitike will start in the 9.
The front line,
Be very
yeah.
surprised if Isak starts.
No, he comes on for 20
But,
minutes. I'd
like,
say.
as in, what does that front line look like? Who's
Interesting.
where? Like, is this the first time we see? I do think there's a world we start to see Liverpool start up line up in a kind of 4-2-2-2-2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not against it.
2-2.
Two twos, blood.
Yeah. So like, let's see. I think it's going to be really intriguing to see what Liverpool look like.
It was quite interesting listening to Slot where he spoke about Isaac and he said, look, don't expect to see him straight away. Give him time. I'm going to give him time. It might be 10 minutes here, it might be 20 minutes there. So, yeah, obviously from a Liverpool perspective, you'd love to see him start the game, but I get it. For the longevity of the season, you need to make sure that you keep him fit because when you look at his injury or his history in terms of injuries, you don't want something like that happening.
Exactly. And he said, don't expect him to play every 90 minutes. There's so many games coming up for Liverpool. People often say, oh, you don't need this. You've got Ekitike. But when Ekitike came off against Palace, against Newcastle, there was no focal point.
Yeah.
So that's why you do need Isak. And we sold 2 strikers and tragically one of them passed away. So we only bought 1. So of course we need Isak for the depth and quality. I'm going to go. I'll go 2-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, 3-0 Liverpool.
I'll go 3-0 Liverpool
3-0?
as well.
Probably 4.
2 actually might be the best shot here. Like Burnley, I know that they conceded 3 in that first game against Tottenham, and then they conceded 3 in that game against United. But it does just. No, I know that's ridiculous to say like that, but I actually think they've been quite. I think they've been quite good. Like, actually, let me rephrase that. They've been better than I thought they were going to be.
There you go.
Right? Like they've been better than I thought they were going to be. And look, I'm kind of on the border. I remember watching Scott Parker's Fulham that year that we came up, and you look back at that Fulham team, Lookman and Anguissa, Mitrovic. You're like, how on earth did this team, Ola Aina, how did this team go down? And it was very much, the answer was Scott Parker. And I was like, well, what's he going to look like in the
Chance
time round?
for Chelsea.
Chelsea
Enzo shoots wide. So that's the Liverpool game. We'll have the fallout from that on Monday on the Weekend Roundup show. Just before we go, a little look at the Championship scores. Some game that Charlton Athletic, Millwall, Derby 1-1. Oxford 2-2 against Leicester. The Foxes with a red card after 24 minutes. Will Lancashire did score for the Stags, I believe they're called. The Oxford United team.
What do you use?
Am I thinking of Cambridge?
No, that's Mansfield with the Stags.
That's true.
Yeah.
Poor.
I could be wrong. It might be Oxford as well.
It might be. Preston North End 2, Middlesbrough 2, Coventry 1, Norwich 1. A lot of draws.
Yeah.
Sheffield United 0, Bristol City 3. Stoke got a big win at home over Birmingham City 1-0. The Swans,
flying.
they are flying.
What about
They are. Swansea City 2, Hull City 2, and Egan, 97th minute equaliser for the Tigers there. Blackburn win away at Watford 1-0, and West Brom lose at home to Derby County, whereas Wrexham get a bit of
Massive
bit of a
result for
humbling
QPR
today. Big
this.
result for QPR. That.
Let's go QPR.
Also,
I've got a soft spot for them. So
a big shout out to Rangers, Martin Russell, Martin.
Yeah.
You know when someone's full name, they're both
first name.
First names.
It's crazy. Russell and Martin, which one are you, man? 2-0 defeat at home to Hearts. It must be surely all over for him there already at Rangers.
Celtic legend Russell Martin.
Yeah, exactly. He's an agent. Barnet, big win away at Crewe Alexandra, I should say.
Yeah.
And like I said, in the National League, Yeovil Town 1, Woking 0. My dad used to play for them, so that's why I've got a soft spot. Salford winning away at Shrewsbury Town as well. Ben Woodburn on the score sheet. At one point, he was the youngest ever Liverpool player.
What about the game yesterday, Ipswich? There was like a 5-0 thriller. Really good. I watched it.
Philogene hat-trick. Yeah, some
mate,
player.
he looks
Hell
like
of a player.
He looks like he's
good
going to
player,
be
man.
the next one up.
You know what? I tell you what, Villa must be like, oh God, we could have really done with this game around.
He was quality.
Make things happen.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
right. It's
goodness.
half time at the G-Tech. Brentford 1, Chelsea 0.
on.
And just before we go, a quick reminder that tomorrow there is a watch along for the Manchester Derby. We've got the FCM tomorrow as well, straight after at 7 o'clock. And don't forget, you can now catch all of DR Sports' content on Samsung TV. So if you're flicking through and you see our channel on there, have a little click on and watch it on your telly, as I've been doing, if I'm honest. I've been flicking. I go from like Kitchen Nightmares on Samsung TV, bit Jamie Oliver, bit of Police Interceptors, bit of Border Control. You know them Channel 5 shows where it's like, it was a busy night in Lincoln. Yeah, Border Control.
Sick.
Them police shows make me laugh.
Well, can't pay will take it away.
Yeah, I watch them shows, but we're on that as well. So don't play it down. But in my bedroom TV, it's got Samsung TV.
There you go, sorted.
Just stick it on, guys. Massive shout out to our panelists today. Big up to Nick, Jack, and Quam's on the show. Very good. Very good. Your second spell, how did it go?
Yeah, I very much enjoyed it. You know,
it's like Robbie Fowler when he came back to Liverpool.
Exactly. They also call me God. Yeah. No. No, it's been good to be back. Thank you.
All good, bro. Well, listen, I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll be back next week. Of course we will. But yeah, rounding off today's show, which included a hammering for the Hammers and a big win for Arsenal. Back to winning ways. We'll see you here on tomorrow's shows. Take care.
Calling all football fans in the UK, it's official. GFN Soccer TV has launched on Samsung TV Plus. All the banter, all the news, all the time.